Check, check, check. 1, 2, check, check. How's everyone doing? I'll be honest, I almost didn't stream, at least not with the camera. You know, I almost went no cam. Like, how is it? I do have a no cam display here. I almost, decided not to stream with the cam because, you know what? I wasn't feeling great earlier today, but took a shower, feeling a lot better now. And we're doing our usual stream, 5:30 p.m. Although I am also late because of that shower. So it's 5:45 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, August 26, 2024, and we're streaming. And yeah, we're going to get into it. We're going to continue working inside of processing, the programming language, I believe you'd call it, that we've been working in so far. It's I think a port of Java, kind of. I'm not sure yet what the proper term. I think a port of Java is the correct terminology. But no matter what, we're learning processing. We're following the coding trains guides, and if you're watching, feel free to say hi in the chat. It's always nice to hear from everyone. And with that, we'll go ahead and get started. I'm also going to go live on Instagram. Let me see here. Cool. Sorry, I'm just setting up the Instagram stream right now. Cool. Sorry about that. It took a second to set up this time, but looks like we're streaming. We're all good over on Instagram. Cool. What else? That's weird. My Instagram profile picture didn't show up on Ecamm. Wonder why that is. No biggie though. No biggie, no biggie. But yeah, anyways, we'll start by doing the usual, recapping what I did last stream, and then we'll go into what we're doing this stream. So here, I'll just recap in yesterday's board. So what we did is we started by recapping the last stream. So what was it? Yesterday was Sunday. Last Tuesday, because I didn't stream last Wednesday, because I didn't stream on Thursday, I made a little drawing inside of processing, just a little black and white abstract drawing, which I should have saved in its current state. I don't know why I didn't, but I edited the colors of the drawing yesterday. Sorry, I added colors last Wednesday, and then yesterday we made the colors better. That was about it yesterday, and then we worked through a few more tutorials. We completed the bits and bytes, color modes, and alpha transparency tutorials. And then today, what are we doing today? We're going to revisit Bits and Bytes, that chapter, because I feel like I didn't fully grasp it. So I want to take another look at that. We'll add transparencies, another concept learned yesterday, to that drawing inside of processing. And then we'll begin the next section of the processing tutorials called program flow. So yeah, that's about it. Let me see. Nothing too crazy, chill stream. It's the kind of stream you have on the background while you're working on your own projects, is what I say. So hopefully it's nice for that purpose. But yeah. I also learned a few things from editing colors. I left a note of the Twitch streamer I rated last night. Junie Malcart, I believe is their name. They had a little link to their keyboard, which I really liked. Their mechanical keyboard, so I left the note of that here afterwards, because not really stream related, but hey, I rated them, so I guess it is. Alpha transparency was just about making colors transparent, that you can kind of lay layer colors with transparencies. Color modes, we learned that you don't have to work in RGB. You can work in other color modes such as, what was it called? HSB, hue, saturation, and brightness. That was the name of it. Yeah, bits and bytes. So that was more of a basic level programming tutorial. But I want to go over it today because that was the one that I felt like I didn't fully grasp. Everything else I felt like I grasped pretty well. But yeah, here's the tutorial we've been working through. I'll put it in the chat for you all as always, and I'll pin it at the top so you all know what we're working from. I recommend going out to the site, clicking on the site, just so you can support Daniel Schiffman and the coding train. They're a lot bigger than I am, but hey, it's always good to support them when we're doing things like this. So please do. They also have a link to donate to them on their website. So yeah, please do so if you feel inclined to do so. And yeah, they're a really great, wonderful resource. But anyway, so we recapped yesterday, Sunday, the 25th. So I'm going to copy all of this here, including the notes from yesterday, and I'll explain why in just a second. Let's start our 11th streamboard. Today is August 26, 24. All right. So agenda for today's stream. Today is August 26th. I'm going to copy and paste from yesterday. Review what we completed yesterday on stream, revisit bits and bytes, add transparencies to the drawing that we worked on yesterday, and then program flow, then make agenda for tomorrow's stream. Cool. Then I'll leave everything here for now. Let me see. I'm going to delete all of the notes except for bits and bytes, because that's what I want to revisit today. I'll also delete my note to revisit it. Delete this. This was really helpful. I found there's a tool inside of processing in the menu bar where you can select on different colors and it'll tell you the RGB. I believe you'd call coordinates, I guess. I don't know, but can control color that way. So I'm going to delete that there because I don't think we'll need it today. So yeah, I guess we can jump right into the tutorial here. Let me load it up again. All right, let me see.
Learning process.
We're going back to chapter bits and bytes. Where was that? Here we go.
Help. Before I move on, let's unpack this a little bit more. I'm imagining that this seems kind of odd to you, like why 255? Well, one thing you might have to realize here is if we're counting all of the possible numbers from 0 to 255, the total possible amount of numbers is actually 256. I know this is like, what are you talking about right now? This is actually
because of 0. That I understood.
important, because this is going to come back again and again in various things we do with code. Think about it. If the range of numbers is between 0 and 4, and I'm talking about whole numbers, so obviously there's the distinction there. There are 5 whole numbers. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 5 numbers. 256 might seem like an odd number, but it's actually kind of, well, it's an even number, but it might seem like a strange choice, but it's a pretty important number. Let me show you why. Let's start with the number 2. Let's double that number and make it 4. Let's keep going. And we've got 8, then we've got 16, 32, 64, 128, 256. It is a power of 2. This might be something you're unfamiliar with depending on where you are in your life's journey around mathematics. But a power of 2 is any number that you can get starting with 2
Okay,
and
so far I understand, I believe.
multiplying itself by 2 and 2 again and 2 again and 2 again. This is actually 2 to the 8th power. Why is that number 2 important? Now, you might be familiar with the idea of binary numbers. This code that we're writing is all this kind of high-level language written with some words in English, some strange syntax, but it's all a mechanism for us to be able to write the instructions in a language that feels somewhat more human-like than machine language. Because
That's interesting. Yeah, write that down. I'm gonna say coding is just a way to take binary code. I believe programming might be a generalization the way I'm writing it here, but programming is just a way to take binary code and turn it into a controllable language that is more human, i.e. easier to understand and write. Interesting. Actually gonna make that the next bullet point because that was after the 256 is a power of 2 note. Actually, it was after the bits part here, I believe. Actually, no, it isn't. Actually, I'm gonna put it after because I think if I'm reading this back to myself, it'll make more sense to go back to after.
language of computers is just zeros and ones. A single bit, one little switch on-off switch inside the brain of the computer, is a number 0 or 1. The sun is coming in, by the way. Did you notice that? There are 2 possibilities. So if I were to have 2 bits, I have 4.
Sorry, I'm gonna check on something real quick. 1 second. Sorry about that. Also, if you're watching too, let me know if you can hear me okay. I had some, let me see, some audio issues earlier in the morning, but hopefully they should be resolved by now.
Possible ways I can configure 2 zeros or ones. If I have 3 bits, I have 8 possible ways. If I have 4 bits, I have 16 possible ways. Well, it turns out that we are going to store.
Yeah, I'll write that down, how we explain it. 2-bit equals 2 possible combinations of zeros and ones. 4-bit equals 4 possible combinations of zeros and ones. Also, for example, okay. Then everything else 2-bit equals 0, 1, 4-bit is equals 0, 0, 1, 10, 11. I believe 0, 1, but also 1, 0. I guess there's 0, 0 and 1, 0, right? What? Okay, now I'm confused. Yeah, I'll leave this how it is for now, but I'm a little confused.
Color values in 8 bits of the computer, or 1 byte. There's 1 byte in memory of the computer in its brain where it can describe the red, where it can describe the green, and where it can describe the blue. So this is why you have that range.
I'm gonna go back, start at halfway-ish through, until I fully grasp this.
Language written with some words in English, some strange syntax, but it's all a mechanism for us to be able to write the instructions in a language that feels somewhat more human-like than machine language. Because the language of computers is just zeros and ones. A single bit, one little switch on-off switch inside the brain of the computer, is a number 0 or 1.
Say 1 bit refers to a switch in the computer. For example, on or off, or 1, also known as 0 or 1, or I'll say 1 or 0, it's on or off.
Sun is coming in, by the way. Did you notice that? There are 2 possibilities. So if I were to have 2 bits, I have 4 possible ways I can configure 2 zeros or 1s.
All right, so I wrote this wrong last time. I'm gonna go back and make a note of that. Written incorrectly. See next stream notes for, say, 11th stream. 11th stream notes for proper notes, I guess, yeah. So I'll say for corrections, that makes more sense. Cool. Cool. We'll go back to these notes. So bytes refers to how many configurations of zeros to 1. For example, 2-bit equals 2 possible combinations of zeros to 1s. 4-bit equals 4 possible combinations of zeros and 1s. For example, 2-bit equals 0, 1. Oh, I believe, sorry, 4 possible combinations of zeros and 1s. So I'll say 0. I'll just copy and paste from here. Then what would 4-bit be?
I have 3 bits. I have 8 possible ways. If I have...
So 3-bit equals 8 possible combinations. I'll just leave that as 2-bit. I'll delete this last sentence.
4 bits. I have 16 possible.
4-bit equals 16 possible combinations. Each increase in bit equals 2 to the power of that number. I believe, right? 2 to the number of bytes. Is that right? Let me make sure. Yeah, 2 to the power of. Each increase in bit is Wait, let me think of a better way to say this. 2 to the power of that number of bytes. Say 2 to the power, sorry, 2 to the power of the number of bytes equals number of possible binary combinations. I think that makes sense. All right, bytes refers to how many configurations of zeros and ones you can make. For example, 2-bit is 4 possible combinations of zeros and ones. 3-bit equals 8 possible combinations of zeros and ones. 4-bit equals 16 possible combinations. 2 to the power, I'll add that as a new bullet point. Another way to say this is that 2 to the power of the number of bytes equals the number of possible binary combinations. Cool. Makes sense in my head. For 2 number of possible binary combinations, that number of bytes represents. Is that too long of a sentence? Another way to say this is that 2 to the power of the number of bytes equals the number of possible binary combinations that the number of bytes represents. Four combinations comes from 2 to the power of 2. Revisit tutorial for visual explanation. Yeah, because hey, I couldn't take a screenshot and really have that make sense to me, I don't think. Yeah, I'm trying to think of a shorter version of communicating that, but I'm having trouble of that. Let me see if I can comment 2 to the power of 2. But can I write that down? We copy this. Will that work? No, it doesn't work. Because it shows the n on the bottom instead the number, the letter n on the bottom and not the top. Yeah, it's not gonna work. I'll just try it here. Yeah, no, still doesn't work. Okay. Well, there's no great way of typing that in freeform. Limitation of freeform, I suppose. I should just write it out. If I had it wouldn't look so bad writing it out then with my mouse, then I would do it, but I'll leave it this way for now.
Well, it turns out that we are going to store color values in 8 bits of the computer, or 1 byte. There's 1 byte in memory of the computer in its brain where it can describe the red.
Oh, this is starting to click in my brain. So this means that there are 8 bytes for each color. Color is 8-bit. This is why there are 256 possible options for each color spectrum. R, G, or B. Because 2 to the power of 8 equals 256. Finally, it's starting to make sense to me. If you're watching along, let me know if that makes sense for you all too. But yeah, cool. It's starting to make sense.
Describe the green and where it can describe the blue. So this is why you have that range.
Yeah, I wrote this incorrectly too. So yeah, I'm going to, where can I put this? I feel like this is out of place now. Oh yeah, and then look, we go back to where we started. 256 is the power of 2, specifically 2 to the power of 8. Cool. That's where we started, where we ended. That was a great tutorial. I just didn't think about it very clearly yesterday, but that was great. Where should I put that? Second bit of text. You know what? I'll add another section as another section. Let me delete that. How do I make a gap here? There we go. Another gap. Yeah. I feel like this last node, programming is just a way to take binary code and turn it into a controllable language that's more human, i.e. easier to understand, right? I feel like that is very relevant in this tutorial, but this is such a specific order that I'd like to follow, that I'd like to kind of keep it a little bit separate from the other notes there. But cool, we visited re-notes in bytes, and that definitely makes more sense now, so I'm very happy I did so. Awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. We're off to a very productive start. Also, I'll probably go until 6:45 Eastern time today, since I was a little bit late starting today. But cool. So what next? Agenda for today's stream. Now we're going to add transparencies and other concepts learned today into my abstract drawing. So let me go back to the alpha transparency notes here. I'm just going to leave that all here. Let me open up processing. Cool. So yeah, this is the drawing. These are the colors. If I remember right, alpha just comes after everything else. We also used no stroke already, which was a concept from the alpha transparency tutorial. But yeah, again, so if the colors are RGB, the numbers represent RG and B, then the fourth number represents alpha, which means transparency. Cool. And what was it? I guess it's also on a scale from 0 to 256 unless we change that scale, which I tried doing last stream. And don't want to change too much more, especially because what I was talking about earlier, we go tools, color selector. This shows in RGB, which was very helpful to me yesterday. So yeah, if we make the background more transparent, what does that look like? So let's do 0, 2. Let's see what that looks like. That should be drastic or not drastic at all. It's not drastic at all. So then let's try the opposite. 250. Oh, so because the background is white, that doesn't change anything. Here, let me try if we go to fill of the eclipse. Should try that at the end, 0, 2. Oh yeah, so there we go. Super transparent. Basically, you can't see it. All right, let's do 100. Sarah, welcome, welcome. Yo, how are you doing? Thanks for stopping by. Thank you, thank you. Catching the end of the stream hype. Thank you. Thank you so much. No, I'm happy you are. Thank you, thank you. I will probably stream until 6:45 today just because I was about 15 minutes late starting and I'd like to get a full hour. So yeah. Catching the end, but also kind of like the middle now because I was running late. So yeah. Right now, I'm taking this little drawing that I made in processing the last couple streams, and we're changing some of the colors so they're transparent. So I added transparency to this eclipse here, but you can't really tell because it just mixes the color with the background color because of that transparency. Okay, cool. I would have been earlier if my roommate didn't ask me to stop by to get water. Sorry. All right. See. So let's try the triangle. If I add, let's say 50. What's the number for transparency? What's that look like? Yeah, so there we go. Now the triangle's very transparent. And the background, let me see. I wish the background I could make softer too. You know what? Let's turn everything into 50%. Not 50% because it's out of 255, but let's make everything more transparent. Cool. Yeah, there we go. How could I make the background if I add 50 now? Will it look more transparent? Not at all, because I assume that it's on like a white background or something. Here, I'm going to copy, delete it for now, see what that looks like. Yeah, so everything's much more subtle, but it's on like a gray neutral background, so instead of white, which I guess makes sense. But here, I'll add that back in and I'll remove the transparency. All right. Let's change it around a little bit. Let's make the eclipse 100. The quadrilateral, let's also do, let's say, yeah, just 100. Cool. So yeah, a little bit brighter now. Let's do 150 for the rectangle. Well, a little too bright for my taste. 25. Still a little bit much. Let's just go back to 100 so it matches everything else. Yeah. I'll leave it there. Still feels a little bright actually, but whatever. Yeah. What else? How can I make the background a little softer? Instead of adding transparency, let's just add color. So I'm gonna save for now, just because I like the look of the transparencies more than what we had before. It was very 90s looking before. It still kind of is, but I do want that background a little softer. Wait, can you explain what you're doing again? Yeah, sure. It would take me a while to explain every single thing, but right now I'm learning a programming language as my like intro into it all. At least proper intro, you know, I've done programming here and there, but I've never learned from the ground up before. It's just been for the goal of working on projects. So I'm working in processing, which I'll put in the chat. And processing, I'm learning specifically through a tutorial from a channel I love, The Coding Train, which I'll also put in the chat. So yeah, processing is like I believe a port of Java that's really intended for artists to make artwork, drawings, animations, etc. inside of. So this, so far, in the tutorial, we've created this little drawing here. It started out as just black and white shapes, then we added color, then we adjusted the color, and now we're adjusting how transparent each color is. I say quote unquote transparent because the transparencies end up just kind of mixing with the background. It can't actually be transparent. It just has an appearance of looking transparent. So yeah, we're just creating a drawing right now, and more importantly, trying to learn programming in the process. Does that make sense? So you're working on transparency, but in coding. Yes. So here, let me show you. If we go here, this tells us the size of this window. So I believe it's 400 pixels by 400 pixels. And then the background here tells us the color of the background. Each one of these numbers represents red, green, or blue. And each color is out of 255. I actually spent the first half of this stream trying to figure out why it's 255. And I could explain that, but it'll take me a while to explain. But it's what we learned today, so I can explain because, it'd be helpful for me to explain it again. It has to do with how many possible combinations of binary code you have. So zeros and ones, how many possible combinations. This is 8-bit, and 8-bit means you would end up having about 256 combinations of binary code. So each color, and I'm going really fast. I'm essentially summarizing my past 11 streams in about 2 minutes. So if this doesn't make sense, that's why. I'm going very, very, very fast. But yeah, let me know if you have questions so I can explain anything further. But yeah, so this 126 represents red, 155 represents green, 136 represents blue here. Is this big enough on stream? Hopefully it is. I don't know how to make it much bigger. And another way you can think about that is if I go into a color selector here, you can actually find the numbers for red, green, and blue by clicking on this color selector. So this color in the top right here has red of 209, green of 110, and blue of 110. We can move around. Now we have red of 58 for this color up here, green of 142, and blue of 152. Those three colors, red, green, blue, mixed to create this tone of blue. And the number represents how saturated that color is. From 0, not saturated at all, to 100, 255, which is very, very saturated. As saturated as it can get in the software. So yeah, so this is the color of the background. This represents, if we play the code again, or play the script, sketch. If we play the sketch, this is what it currently looks like. No stroke represents whether or not there's an outline, essentially. So if I copy, delete that, this is what it looks like now. It defaults to each shape having an outline, which I didn't like, so I added the code no stroke, which removes that. And then these first two lines are sorry, I keep saying eclipse. I said a lot earlier. The ellipse in the top left-hand corner. The code down here represents how big it is. Each number here is like a coordinates of like the middle, the diameter. So it represents where in the, what is this called? Where in the board, I'm just gonna call it for now it is. And how big it is, the shape of it generally. And then fill represents the color. So red, green, blue, but we have a fourth color now. And this fourth color is what I'm adding to the drawing, and it's changing the transparency. So if I copy and delete that fourth number, I said color by my number. Now it's not transparent at all. It's very bright, very saturated. But if I add that number back, hit play, now it's less saturated, and that's because it's transparent, or appears transparent in the final drawing. So yeah, there's the ellipse. If I copy, delete that all together, now there's no ellipse in the top left hand. So those two lines of code just make the ellipse in the corner there. So yeah, hope this is making sense. But yeah, right now I'm adding, right before he joins, I made all of these shapes varying levels of transparency to a point I was okay with. And now I'm just trying to figure out how to get the background to be a little bit less saturated. Or appear a little less saturated, because if I add transparency to the background, it kind of looks the same. And I think that's because if we remove that altogether, it has this gray undertone that causes it to not lose saturation in the final drawing. I believe that's how things are working right now. So, yeah, hope that makes sense. Let me know if you have any other questions. But yeah, where were we? I think we're up to date now. Oh yeah, trying to make the background color a little less saturated. So if we go here, let's go back to the color selector. See if we can find something like that greenish tone that's less saturated. Oh, let me just type in the color from before. Can do this in reverse. 126, 155, 136. Super helpful explanation. Cool. Glad. Yeah, again, went super fast, so I'm glad it is. Cool. So this is the color right here. This color is this color. Just copied it from the code. So I did the reverse of what I was doing before. I added the color from the code into the color selector and so vice versa. Oh, did I just move it around? Yes, it did. So last color is 136. Well, that's not that. Right, so 126. Oh no, I completely messed it up. Hold on, sorry. Must have touched this over here. 126, 155, 136. All right, there we go. So this color is the same as the background in our drawing here. I'm gonna close out these for now because I think it's a little distracting. What else? Yeah, how can we make this less saturated? Let's try moving to the left here. That's very gray. Let's try and make it, yeah, perfect, exactly what I'm looking for. Now it's a little bit mintier, but I guess that is what it is. By minty, I mean like more, it appears more like a pastel. But here, I'm gonna copy this down into my notes just so I don't lose it and forget it. Close out this again. To 11, to 36, to 18. So this is what it currently looks like. I haven't hit play on the sketch yet, and let's see if we like it more or less. I hit play. All right, I do kind of like it more. I think I want to make it even a little less saturated. Let's try 223, 240, 228. Cool. All right. Again, not in love with anything we're doing here. It's just a silly little drawing, but I'm a little happier with it, especially now that we're adding all these transparencies. Here, just to see what it looks like, I'm going to remove the transparency for the rectangle. Gotta remove the comma too, I guess. Yeah, so super bright now. Maybe we can adjust that a little bit. So let's try 150. Make it a little bit brighter. Then I guess we can make the triangle a little bit brighter to match. Go back down a little bit, 75. All right, yeah, I'm kind of happy with this. The blue is very intense, actually. Yeah, tone it down just a little. 125. All right. This is sufficient. You know, we're learning how to code. That's the main point here, not to make the best drawing in the world. So yeah, I'll leave it there. Here. 6:30. So I'll stream for another 15 minutes. So I guess we can jump into the next tutorial. Wow, I really wish I took screenshots of how this drawing looked to show updates on the process. Really wish I did that. Oh, but I guess I have these streams to refer back to. I have recordings of all these streams. So that's nice, I guess. That's good. But yeah, still wish I took screenshots for my notes, so I guess we'll start doing that now. So I'll say update on processing drawing after adding transparencies to each color. Actually, I'll just leave it at that. So make that bold. Then I'll say just a note to myself, see stream recordings for reference of how drawing progressed each week. If I was a better mod, I'd be clipping your progress shot. Thank you. No, that's funny. You say that, but no worries. No worries, no worries. I gotta add you as a mod on YouTube now too, now that I'm streaming on YouTube too. Little arrow, because I love adding arrows to my notes. Do you do that too, Sarah, in your notes, adding arrows to everything like I do? I'm gonna lower this just a little bit. Not the same way you do. I organize mine more in a tiered list. Got it. Have I gone through how I set up these stream boards with you? I never intended to do this when I started streaming, but I've kind of found a habit that actually works really, really well for me. I can show you if you'd like. That I've been doing every single stream so far. This is what it looks like. So, you know what? I'll just go into it anyways. I write my agenda for today. Then at the end of the stream, this is all copied from last week, so I got edited, but then I write what we did today on stream and the agenda for the next stream. So this will say Tuesday stream, August 27th, and then I write down everything. So that way, next time I start the stream, I know exactly what I got to do, and I can recap the last stream to go over with any viewers and just for myself, so I remember everything. And yeah, it's been a nice way of keeping everything organized. Oh, and then just on the left here, I keep my notes of the day, of whatever it is I'm working on, any notes I want to keep. So yeah, I hit save on this, I believe. So I'm going to close out of processing for now, and we'll go back into the tutorial. So we went back to bits and bytes at the beginning of the stream to revisit it because I felt like I didn't fully grasp it last week. And now we're about to start program flow.
Next.
Pause the music for now.
And we are back and ready for the next step. Did you take a break? If you didn't take a break, maybe just get up, stretch, move your body around if you can.
We've taken many breaks since this is start. Also, so this is the full tutorial we've been working from. Let's see, in total it's 5 hours long, which sounds like a lot, but this is like a full creative coding for beginners course. And the other course I was considering was, how long was it? I believe it was like 5 weeks long of 11 hours each week. Was the code, so not code, which was the curriculum. So yeah, this is a lot faster. And I'm choosing this one too because it's creative coding and should still be applicable to what I want to use it towards, which is Godot. I should still learn some of the coding basics. Oh, and I can make things. The reason I'm doing this one is because I can actually make things I'm excited about, like drawings and animations and I don't know, things like that, rather than just a generic computer science tutorial that teaches you how to code generally for different like engineering projects. This I'm actually excited about what I'm making, which keeps me more motivated to work on these on the streams. So yeah. Anyways, going back to program flow.
Break for yourself. Because speaking of moving your body around, I have something to say. This is pretty exciting. You've drawn with code, you've added color, you have some kind of design that I am just picturing as just beautiful and wonderful in my head, but it doesn't move. We'd love to see Zoog do a little dance, bounce.
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot about this. We ended last time by learning that the next section is on animation, making animation, so that's exciting. Look at his little guy. Why didn't you make a little guy? Oh my god! When I started making the drawing, and even after, I debated so many times if I want to go back and like make something representational with my drawing, kind of like he did here with his little alien guy. But I was just like, it takes so long to convert all the code to coordinates and figure out where I need to place each shape. And I was like, for the purposes of just getting through the tutorial, I'm going to make something abstract and a little bit more improvisational. So you didn't want to zoom, shaking my head. Yes, you're right. But yeah, I even debated after because I felt like I was taking the easy way out, which I kind of was, but I knew no matter what I made in that initial drawing, I wasn't going to like share it anywhere online or be too excited about it. So I figured I should just take the easiest route that allows me to learn what I'm doing in the code and everything, which ended up being that drawing I made. So yeah, I still had the drawing, so I was somewhat happy with it, and not just originally it was completely random, and I've kind of refined it from there. But that's the process I'm working through it. Next time I'll see a zoo, but no promises. But he is very cute, though. You're right.
Edges of the window, all of that is possible. But we're missing a key fundamental concept.
Have I shown you this person before, Sarah? Daniel Schiffman. Supremacy. Did he say Zoop? Or I thought you were just saying that. Did he say that? Go back.
Next.
What was I gonna say about it? I forgot.
And we are back and ready for the next step. Did you take a break? If you didn't take a break, maybe just get up, stretch, move your body around if you can. Take a little break for yourself. Because speaking of moving your body around, I have something to say. This is pretty exciting. You've drawn with code, you've added color, you have some kind of design that I am just picturing as just beautiful and wonderful in my head, but it doesn't move. We'd love to see Zoog do a little dance.
He does say Zoog. I totally missed that. You caught on that so fast that he had a name. But yeah, that's very funny. What was I gonna say? Hi, Zach from Super Genius. Super Genius, your profile picture looks familiar to me. Who is Super Genius? Hi, Zach, you know them. I had a feeling I knew them. The robot, that's our friend. I assume they love Wario. I know who this is. Welcome, Super Genius. Welcome. Thanks for joining. Thank you for stopping by. I hope you're doing well. Even Nightbot says hi to you in the corner here. Yeah. Did Sarah tell you about Zoob? We both love Zoob. There you go. We want Zoob, yeah. There's Zoob right here. Zoob. Zoob, what was I gonna say? I love Daniel Schiffman. So this is Daniel over in the corner here. Yeah, he has my favorite coding tutorials on the internet, for sure. Anna James Arts, hi, thank you. Welcome. Sorry, your comment was checked by Twitch's Automod. I don't know why that is. How do I make it so that's okay? Let me see. Yeah, how do I approve this message in Twitch? no problem. Yes, hold on. Let me figure this out. Oh, the Instagram stream just ended, so I'm going to go and end that over there. Instagram has like a limit for some reason on how long we can stream. Anna James, yeah, thanks for stopping by. Howdy, howdy. Let me see how I can add your or approve your message. There we go. Cool. Yeah, I think you're set to no longer restricted. Wait, I always forget how to access mod mode on mobile, but I'm also trying. Thank you. You're welcome. Yeah, no, thanks for stopping by. I hope you're doing well. Thank you, thank you. Wait, I always forget how to access mod mode on mobile, but I'm also trying. Yeah, I don't know either. Yeah. Doing great. How about you? Good, good. Yeah, thanks for stopping by. We're learning how to draw with code right now inside of processing, which I can explain more about in just a moment if you happen to be familiar with processing, but we're learning how to draw right now. Oh wow, we've had such a chill stream, and then all of a sudden between Zoob, Super Genius 64 and all the other comments, my mind went all over the place for a second. Thank you. Hope you're doing well. Yes, sir. Yeah. Nice to have you stop by. Zoom brings in the viewers. You're right, apparently. Apparently Zoom does. Oh, what was I gonna say? Everyone loves Zoom. Yes. Yeah. Well, this is Zoob right here. Anna James, too, #1 Zoob fan. Everyone in chat is a Zoob fan. I'm pretty neutral on Zoob. No, I like Zoob. But this is Zoob right here. And apparently Daniel here with the coding train. Now that more people are watching, let me put the link to the tutorial in the chat again. So this is the tutorial we're following right now. From the coding train, Daniel Schiffman. And this is his drawing of Zoob in the tutorial. Here, I'll show the drawing I made. Not as fun as Zoob, I promise you that. But yeah, here's the drawing I made. Just a simple little abstract drawing, just to learn the basics of coding here. But Daniel went one step further and made Zoob, and apparently we were about to learn how to animate Zoob, so Zoob's brother. Yeah, true. I didn't think of the abstract drawing as a human. Oh, what's the word I'm looking for? What's it called when a being has a conscious? Sentient. I didn't think of my little drawing as sentient, but I guess he's Zoob's brother. Anyways, let's learn how to animate Zoob. But yeah, if you're just joining for the first time, welcome. A couple of people just joining. In these streams, I just work on projects. Yeah, that's about it. We hang out some lo-fi music, work on some projects, and hopefully it's a nice thing to keep on in the background as you're working on projects too. That's the goal of these things. It's just kind of background noise, kind of like a podcast, but something to just sleep on while you're working on projects yourself. And it keeps me in a nice schedule myself to force me to work on projects once a day. And I stream every day, Monday through Thursday at 5:30 p.m. Eastern time. And I'm going to add Sunday to the schedule as well. I still stream on Sundays, but I still need to decide on a time for that. So yeah, Mondays through Thursdays, 5:30 p.m. Eastern time if you want to join back in the future. But yeah, let's learn how to animate Zoob.
The window, all of that is possible. But we're missing a key fundamental concept here, a concept that I will refer to as the flow of the program. The processing flow. If you open up a website, you're clicking around, interacting with things change. A game, it starts, the score is 0, you press some buttons, you move around, you increase your score. Programs happen over time. They run over time. This drawing of Zoog is essentially a static program. It executes one thing, this single drawing, and stops. How can I create?
Also super genius. I forgot to tell you too. I didn't even catch that his name was Zoop. Too. I just Sarah here. If you go back in the chat, you can see all of Sarah's messages in all caps about Zoob. But I didn't know who Zoob was, and I was so confused by Sarah. Sorry. Been talking for a while. I've been Zoob. Oh my god. But yeah, I didn't catch Zoob's name, so I was so confused about who Zoop was. Get Zooped. Yeah, I was Zooped. You know, you were Zooped. I've been Zooped. But anyways.
Processing sketch that runs over time, where things change over time based on interactions or some kind of algorithm. In processing, the flow of a program at its core is defined by two fundamental concepts. Welcome to your two new best friends, Setup.
Cool. I'm going to start taking notes because now I feel like I'm starting to learn stuff, and I gotta take notes when that happens, or else I will forget every single thing. So we start with notes from bits and bytes. Now we're gonna do notes from processing flow, or is it just process flow? What was the name of it? Program flow was the name of the chapter. Program flow. So let me delete all this here. I'll say processing flow is the continuous, I'm just gonna call it a flow. I think that's what I said. When you start a sketch, for example, in animation, we unbold that. There are two main parts to this flow: setup and draw. So what I'm guessing, my prediction here, is if we go into my code from last time, my guess is that these first three lines of code are the setup, because we're setting up the size of this drawing here. We're setting up the color of the background. We're setting up the fact that none of these shapes will have outlines or strokes. And then I'll assume the draw is all of the code that follows, where we're actually drawing the shapes on top of it. That's my prediction. Let's see.
And draw.
Oh, I guess we won't learn here. I know we're going a little bit extra over time, but you know, this is the most viewers I've had since we started. So I'm gonna go a little bit longer and say flow, setup, and draw. These sections are short anyway, so maybe we'll do one more before wrapping up. So setup and flow. So sorry, setup and draw.
Let's think about them this way. Let's say you're designing a game. When the game begins, a lot of
as long as I get more zoom, I have a strong feeling we're getting more zoom. We're getting zoomed again. Well, we're getting more zoom.
Must be initialized. Maybe you start with a score of 0. You have 3 lives. Your health is at 100. The level is level 1. Those are all the things that happen once at the initialization point of the game. That is setup. Then there are other things that happen. If the game is Space Invaders, for example, there's a lot of things that happen over time. The spaceship moves around and flies.
So that's interesting. I'm correct, but draw is what happens continuously. So I'll say setup sets up the sketch, while draw includes continuous actions. Interesting.
Come in, you increase your score, you lose your lives. All of that happens over and over again over time, forever essentially, until you quit the program. That is draw. Setup is initialization. It's things that happen just once. Draw is things that happen over and over again.
That's a better way of
Forever.
writing it down. I'm gonna change my notes there. Setup includes actions that only happen once, while draw includes actions that happen forever. I'll say continuously forever. There we go.
The forever, of course, being in quotes, although it would be an interesting challenge to see if we could get a processing sketch to run forever. These are two.
Say forever. Actually, no. I'm not gonna add that note because that should be obvious. But, yeah.
Fundamental concepts that we need to introduce to our processing sketch. And the way that I am going to bring these into the sketch is with something known as a block of code. A block of code is a organized collection of lines of code that sit in between two curly brackets.
Now we got a message in chat that is definitely a not a real message, so I'm gonna go ahead and ban that. Twitch Automod actually working now.
It's gonna be hard.
Just says best viewers on, and then a link with a lot of random letters and numbers. Probably the most concerning link I've ever seen. Is it okay if I show this? Yeah, here. This link here is what I'm talking about. Zoob's evil brother. Yeah, Leo SYED is Zoob's brother here. I like that Zoob only has a brother, no sisters, no siblings, just brothers. I had mod view on, but didn't see an automod. Weird. Yeah, weird. That's cool that you found automod. Did you find it on mobile though? Or did you only find it on desktop? What the heck? Weird. Yeah, I don't know. Weird. Yeah, because I'm cool like that. Nice. On mobile, cool. Nice. No, I figured that from when you said I'm cool like that, but cool.
I'm going to draw these, but I'm going to do my best. We have an open curly bracket and a...
I like that you all are completely silent for the coding parts, and then every time Zoob appears or anything that could potentially be Zoob related, that's when chat pops off. I get like 10 chats at once.
Curly
Which
bracket.
I don't blame you. I would be the same way if I was watching too. Just to clarify, I'm not at all upset on that. We're on high Zoob alert. Exactly. You're not actual mods. You're just on Zoob alert. That's funny.
And some number of...
Or Sarah's not an actual mod. We're like that SpongeBob episode with SpongeBob's little wooden Squidward. Oh yeah, I forgot about that episode. I had to think about that for a second. But with Zoob, that's funny.
Code in between those two curly brackets. So we are going to define...
Alright. So blocks. Hate that. I'm gonna unbold this because then it makes all the rest of the text bold every time I start a new line. Blocks of code are literally blocks. How do I write this better? Each individual block of code that precedes a space, or what did he call these little symbols?
Setup between those two curly brackets.
For each individual blocks of code. Each individual block of code that's between a curly bracket. I say or space because I think in my code, hold on. Yeah, there's no curly brackets here, but would these still be blocks of code? I don't know. I'll just leave or space because that makes sense to me, but we just watched it. Why can't I remember? I'm cringing to myself just because that's crazy. I can't remember that. It's too funny.
So we are going to define the setup block with curly brackets and the draw block with curly brackets.
Oh, he's about to type it into the code, isn't he? So between a curly bracket. For example, we're going to define setup as a block of code, followed by draw as a block of code with a curly bracket in between. Yay, Nightbot's finally working. The timed comments that Nightbot would send wasn't working before. Just randomly started working, I guess. I don't know, maybe it's because you all are consistently typing in chat more. But cool. That is cool. Good thing I updated that website too. I think that's updated, is that right? zachdav.com/live-streaming. No, it's not updated. So the one time Nightbot says something, it's not actually updated. It has my stream here, but it doesn't actually have the stream schedule. I'll just let it be for now, but if you're watching, just know that still needs to be updated. But again, Monday through Thursday, 5:30 p.m. Maybe Nightbot gets shy when he's alone in the chat. Sure, there's no other Zoobs to support him. It's okay, Nightbot, we support you. You're all very nice to Nightbot. We love you. You're welcome. Wow, that was kind of sassy with Nightbot. But y'all are very, very nice to Nightbot.
If you're following along,
To change Nightbot to Zoobbot now.
could expand on whatever design you created so far, but I might suggest right now you start over or at least heavily simplify that particular design. I've taken my example and taken out the line and the rectangle, just simplified the color, and now I have just one single circle appearing in the...
We'll do this in a second, but I just want to watch a bit further. Also, how long is this section? So we're at 110, and it goes till... What is this? For another couple of minutes. Maybe we'll finish this section and wrap up. Zoob amoeba.
of the canvas. I am now going to add the setup and draw blocks of code to this example.
I don't remember what an amoeba looks like. Oh, there we go. I was not the biology major, as you can tell. Did kind of look like a simplified Zoob amoeba, didn't it? Yahoo amoeba. We got big amoeba fans in the chat, huh? I guess I am too, but I don't know much about amoebas. What is an amoeba? All right, this is, if I start Googling what is an amoeba, start reading the Wikipedia page for amoeba, I'm gonna go down such a rabbit hole and we'll never finish up this tutorial here. Number one amoeba stan, I respect it, I respect it. Is Zoob an amoeba? Or is just that other drawing a Zoob amoeba? And a Zoob. Is it and? No, a Zoob amoeba. We've derailed the stream in such a wild way. Yeah, I support it though. That's what this is all about. No, the pink dot is the Zoob amoeba. Yes, yeah, no, that I understand. I understand. Paramecium stream 1. Oh god, you're revealing just how ignorant I am when it comes to biology. Paramecium. Maybe I'll name the next stream Paramecium stream. Nice. Wow. Yeah, Paramecium. Also big Paramecium stands in the chat. Fun. Alright, maybe our next drawing here will be maybe we'll turn this into a Paramecium next time. Maybe that'll be the goal.
I have typed in quite a bit of new, strange, unfamiliar syntax, which unfortunately is gonna feel kind of wonky and weird and uncomfortable for you for a little while still. Don't worry, by the time this video ends, however long it is, I will have covered all the ins and outs of everything I just typed in there. But for now, I want you to focus on two things. I want you to focus on the keywords setup and draw, They're bolded there by processing. And the open and close curly bracket.
Oh, here, let's copy the code. This will actually be helpful. So we started the last drawing on the 8th stream. It's now the 11th stream. Excuse me. I think that's the last we might see of that drawing for a while. 8, 9, 10, 11, 3 streams. Shift on that math in my head, but again, not the math major, not the bio major here. Not that any of y'all were a math major, I don't think, but anyways. Let's start a new sketch. So let's just type in exactly what is written here. So void setup parentheses. Oh, no semicolon, but there is the open bracket. Then size 640 by 360. So that determines the size of the window that will open up. Background 0 parentheses semicolon. That'll determine the color, which will probably be white, I believe. And then close bracket. I assume that's signifying the end of a block of code. And then void draw parentheses open bracket. Oh, he has no spaces there, or I have spaces in different parts. I'm gonna change it so it's like how he did it, just to follow a format. Open bracket, no capital S stroke, parentheses, semicolon. That'll say there's no outline in any of the drawings. Wow, Nightbot's going crazy now in the chat too. You all really activated Nightbot. Nightbot's been quiet for like, was this the 11th stream? For like 11 streams. And then you all joined and now Nightbot again is going crazy. So we like to see it. He needed friends. Honestly, I think you're right. Go off, Nightbot. I think you all are right. Yeah, so no stroke. What else? Fill. Parentheses 255, 100, 200, parentheses, semicolon, circle, maybe 20, 180, 100. So I wasn't actually explaining what that was all doing, but fill determines the color, 255 for red, 100 for green, 200 for blue, and then circle, these are coordinates that share where in the board it's going to be placed and how big it is. Not James Kim isn't even here. You're right. I thought you were gonna blame James Kim to blame Joltik. I forgot about that. You're right. Super genius Sarah left a Joltik on my desk. So I joked about changing that commands to blame Joltik. But I don't know. I didn't know if you're going to take Joltik back, so I'll leave it as James Kim for now. And when James does join, James, one of my mods, James. Not a friend, just a mod. Oh, when he joins, then it can be James's fault. I would never blame Joltik for anything again. Hashtag feminism. You know what? You got me there. That would be pretty sexist. Or misogynistic, rather, of me to blame Joltik, huh? He eats all the electricity. I literally can't take him back. He likes the studio too much. You know what? You're right. You're right. But he does eat all of the electricity. You're right. Sorry. Well, now you said he, not me. I misgendered Joltik because what Super Genius just said here. Poor Joltik. You misgendered Joltik, but I misgendered her. Can't believe you, Sarah. But anyways, sorry, Joltik. Here, let's play this again. So yeah, this is the, what did you call this? Zoob's brother? Zoob's amoeba, or just Zoob amoeba. Here's the Zoob amoeba drawing that we just copied from Daniel's code. Joltik has no gender, just a yearning for those fires. You got me there. You got me there, all right. Back to the Zoob amoeba.
Associated with those. The setup block and the draw block. Notice also how the lines of code that are inside those curly brackets are indented. I type
lines of code. Is curly bracket the right term for that character? Is it? Do you all know? Lines of code inside of curly bracket are indented. French bracket. Not that I doubt you. Sorry, that's rude of me to Google. But I am curious. You know what? Maybe I was right for doubting you. You're not off to a great start with these Google results. That was a joke. I'm pretty sure it's curly. Damn it, you got me. Damn it. Can't believe you had me out here Googling these French brackets. All right. Anyways. Is it curly though? That doesn't seem right to me. That seems like such an informal way to call it. Yeah, curly bracket. That just seems so informal to me, like it's just like a nickname when the joke doesn't land. Hashtag feminism. Damn, you got me there again. All right.
That all in kind of quickly, so you might have missed. How did they
I had to think about the hashtag feminism in that joke there too.
indented? Well, I could have manually done that with spaces or tabs. Oh boy, spaces or tabs. But
I thought it was a quarter rest. Oh, maybe that's why I thought it was not a curly bracket. But I feel like a quarter rest looks a little different, right? Yeah, it does look different. That's a quarter rest in music, and there's the curly bracket. So you're wrong. I'm kidding. Oh my god. See, Tone doesn't communicate in chat, all right? Tone, super geniuses figured this out with their jokes. You're figuring this out, but yeah. Or I'm the one actually figuring this out, that Tone doesn't communicate. Music theory and literature in the stream, you got me there. Quarter rest is a curly bracket that got hit over the head with a hammer. Got the sarcasm that time. Bonked. All right. We're going back to the tutorial.
what I did is use one of my absolute favorite things in the world of coding and processing. It's right up here under edit,
rock.
and it's
Got the Zoob amoeba. So that basically looked like a rock, or was it? Yeah. Anyways, back to the tutorial. Now I'm just
auto format. Command, or on Windows probably Control
Right.
T.
Now I gotta go
But
back
this
one
is-
second. Zach is getting old. All right, now you're just going off inside jokes, so I'm gonna leave you two to it.
It's right up here under edit, and it's auto format. Command, or on Windows.
You gotta write down the command real quick. Command T equals auto format. And don't know if he prefers Dan over Daniel, but I'm gonna say Daniel just in case. Daniel Shipman's favorite processing function. Just because I feel like that's helpful to reference in the future. That's an important one.
Control T. But this is the key thing I want you to focus on. Setup and draw. Open curly bracket and close curly bracket. Blocks of code. It might seem like I'm overemphasizing this, but this concept of a block of code is going to extend to so many things that I show you throughout all of these fundamental building blocks of programming the computer in processing. So if the flow is defined by setup happening once and draw happening over and over again, forever, if you will, what kinds of lines of code should go in the block of code that is setup versus the block of code that is draw? In this case, I'm programming just a simple design, so there's not a lot of options. But let's consider first the line of code size. Well, certainly size.
Because we're out of water, I've had these ice cubes melting. Oh no, some of the condensation got on my keyboard. I've had ice cubes in my glass that have been melting for a couple hours. So that I still have some water. But oh my god, I just got condensation on my keyboard. Did it go between the keys? It did. Right, I'm turning my keyboard off. I'm gonna be keyboardless for a second, but I don't think I'll need it. All right, I'm gonna put a BRB screen on and try this off real quick. It's only a drop, but you know, I don't want that drop to cause any issues. All right, sorry, I'll BRB. Stick around, and I'll be back in just a minute. Oh my god. can see me this whole time? Did I accidentally... Oh my god. I accidentally added a window of myself to the stream. Oops. I don't know how much you saw of me. I didn't intend for you all to see me, but I found my gamer keyboard that I plugged in to my computer, and I have the other keyboard upside down, drawing back there. Oh my god, I missed so many messages. But yeah. Yeah, you did that before you left the second time when you said hi to me just now. Oh, I didn't even know. Did I remove it? Yeah, I did properly remove it. Also, I accidentally made that chat huge. I'm going to make this smaller real quick. There, it's a little bit better. Put that in the bottom left here. They're non-porn. What? Oh, the messages. You know what? They're in my chat. I'm gonna read them. Yeah. Hold on. Now. Oh my god, I missed so many. Taps, trumpets. I want to send trumpet emojis, but tried to search for them by typing taps. Quickly, everyone, what is your favorite crustacean? Favorite crustacean is I think hermit crab, tongue-eating loose. Oh, well, now I gotta search what a tongue-eating loose is, of course. Hold on. Tongue-eating loose. Wow. First photo isn't even a photo. Interesting. It's a pretty good choice. Broad-clawed hermit crab, but bro, do they eat our tongues? Interesting chat message. Let me look that up. Broad-clawed hermit crab. Why do they? Why? So I get why these guys eat our tongues, but why do these guys? Or are you talking about the tongue eating? This fitting it for our current predicament. Do I have dentists? I know you're already typing in new chats, but I'll get there. I promise I'll get there. Do I have dentist loose in my mouth? Oh my god. I'm so lost. They eat fish tongues, so if you're not a fish, you're fine. Well, that even is a fish anyway, asking the real questions. They just hang out in there, so true. We might be fish. We might have vestigial swim bladders. I'm not Googling that one on stream. They should get with the times. Start eating tetrapod tongues. I feel like I know what a tetrapod is. I have to know what a tetrapod. Alright, I'm getting a lot of results from tetrapod, but I assume this is what you're referring to here. And not whatever these are. I've seen them before. I guess they're called tetrapods, but I assume that's not. That'd be funny if that's what you're referring to. Lingua tacos. Welcome back, Zach. Thank you. Finally, a comment back on back about the stream. No, you just turned it back on. Got you. Skipping through some of these that I read. Non-porn. Yahoo. But watch out. Oh my god, I'm still catching up. Yeah, crabs. I'm talking about the loose. Alright, we're caught up. I made it. Finally made it. Yeah. Cool. Well, that's enough crustaceans for now. Let's finish up the tutorial. Oh, I'm sorry. Now you have to answer your favorite crustacean. Oh god, again, not the bio major, so I'm about to Google a list of crustaceans for me to choose from. So I just can't answer that off the top of my head. Brew crabs is the first result, not even just crabs. Watch out. Why? Is something bad gonna show up from crustacean? I mean that seriously, I don't know. There's so many. Okay. I thought you meant there was going to be a crustacean that I can't show on the stream, NSFW crustacean. Maybe barnacle. I know a barnacle is a crustacean, but maybe barnacle crab jump scare. Exactly. Yeah, maybe a barnacle. This one's pretty cool looking. I like when they're transparent. I give any transparent crustacean a 10 out of 10. Here, limit our searches to this. This is fine because we started the stream by adding transparencies to my code, and now we're looking for transparent crustaceans. This one's pretty cool. Yay, barnacles. Barnacles are my second favorite, I think. Another yay barnacles. Ostracob soup. Is that one of the ones we just looked at? I almost typed ostracob soup. Oh, that is the one we just looked at. That one's pretty cool. What's the clear shrimp? Let me go back. Krill. That was the transparent shrimp we just looked at. This one's pretty cool though. Maybe I'll go with this. What is this? Shrimp like Kystosoma? I'm gonna have to say that a few times. announce. Wait, why'd I copy that? Oh, here, because I typed the wrong thing. Sorry, I'm getting used to this. Keyboard isn't meant for Mac, so I'm confused about where the command is. There we go. That took way too long. I should have just did the menu. That's not the same word. Oh, they're not even gonna pronounce it, but we do get a little video of it. Actually, I don't know if that song's copyrighted. I don't want to get... Not banned, but whatever it is. What's the clear shrimp? So beautiful. Yeah. I'm gonna try saying it one more time. Shrimp-like cystosoma are protected from predators by being virtually invisible thanks to a unique retina and a body that casts almost no shadow. That is what I'm gonna go with. I'm gonna put that in chat. And yeah, got me down the crustacean rabbit hole. Maybe we'll make transparent crustaceans inside of processing. Extremely good choice. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. As you can tell, I worked hard on that choice, but yeah.
Is an initialization condition for my processing sketch. It's a thing that defined at the beginning. It's not something that I'm defining over and over again. So size should go here. Background is kind of a really interesting question. Should it go? Is it something that I define at the beginning, the background of the sketch? Or is it something that I define over and over again in draw? Think about that. There's no right answer to this. For right now, I've placed background in setup, which is a little bit odd, but let's go with it. Let's go with it. Usually I do it the other way around when I'm demonstrating this, but let's see where this leads us. Draw is named draw, even though it's a loop, a forever loop. It's named draw because it's typically where you will draw the stuff. Again, for any design that you're animating, you've got to draw it, move stuff, draw it again, move it, draw it again. We haven't gotten to the moving thing, but we have gotten to the drawing thing. So maybe in this case, we've got a call to fill, we've got a call to circle, etc. So this is what we've got. We now have a program that runs forever over time. Let's get even more detailed about this for a moment. What's actually happening?
Almost done with this section, and then we're going to wrap up stream for today.
Processing executes the lines of code in order. It was very simple for us to follow that order when it was just a linear list of lines of code. Now we have these two blocks, but I'm gonna talk you through it. The first thing that happens is size. The next thing that happens is background. Then set no stroke, set a pink fill, draw a circle. What happens next? Draw loops back to the first line of code. So we set no stroke, we set a pink fill, we draw the circle. No stroke fill, circle, no stroke fill, circle, no stroke fill, circle, no stroke fill, circle. This is what's happening. But because nothing ever changes, no stroke fill and circle are executed with these same arguments every single time. We never see anything different, and visually it appears static to us. What we need for it to animate, for it to change, is to introduce variability into our sketch. Now I'll
write that down. We need to introduce variability into... Can you all hear my clacking on my type? I want to type around my mechanical keyboard here. I wonder if y'all can hear it on stream. We need to introduce variability into our code in order to create animations. Otherwise, it'll loop the code over and over as it is, so the image appears static. That's not the best way of writing that. I could have written that better, but I'll leave it for now. ASMR. I'll take that as yes, you can hear it, but yeah, not my normal keyboard, so I'll just leave it for now. Glad it's ASMR. Should change the category of the stream to ASMR instead of software and was it software and game development. That's it.
point in a moment, I'm going to erase this whole whiteboard. I'm going to write variables across the top, and we're going to unpack all sorts of details about how you define variables and use variables and all of that. But a quick little entry point, which is going to dip our toe into the variable water here, is to use something that is known as a built-in variable in processing.
Cool, we did it. So I'm going to say next time we're going to start with our first variable called a built-in variable. Cool. Awesome. Oh, did not mean to do that. Cool. Cool. So, what do we do at the end of a cliffhanger? Yes, you are right. Absolutely a cliffhanger. So, what do we do? Every stream we end by going over what we did today and then making an agenda for tomorrow. So today, we revisited the chapter Bits and Bytes and copy and paste that. I'm actually gonna copy and paste all this here. Actually, oh yeah, that was the first thing we did, was revisited bytes. And the stream's been so long, I had to think about it for a second. So we revisited Bits and Bytes. Took time and better notes to understand the concepts better. Then we added transparencies to my abstract drawing from yesterday. I removed that parentheses because we didn't really do that, but that's okay because we kind of already did it. I can explain that further because I'm talking about the fact that we added no stroke was a concept we just learned, but I actually added it earlier because I read it on another point online. I'm gonna delete this. And then, you know what? I'll add, what else do we do? Went on a tangent about Zoob and our favorite crustaceans, because that is something we did. Crustaceans. Am I spelling that correctly? Super Genius is gonna be so mad at me for misspelling that, but I think I spelled it correctly now. Completed. So yeah, we did two. What two did we do again? They were called, I forgive you, thank you. Thank you. Program flow and setup and draw. So those were the two we did today. Program flow and set up and draw. And then right now we're making an agenda for tomorrow. Cool. So that's what we did today. We revisited Bits and Bytes to understand it better. We added transparencies to my drawing from yesterday. We went on tangents. Then we completed program flow and setup and draw from the coding train tutorial here. And here, I'll put that on the screen again. I got there's so many chat messages, I forgot where it is. There we go. And then for tomorrow, I think I do want to revisit program flow and setup and draw. Those were the two we just did, right? Yeah. I'm gonna say briefly, I feel like I understood them pretty well. But because of my keyboard and everything, I got a little distracted. I'm going to briefly revisit them just to make sure I actually absorbed it. But definitely don't need to go through it as thoroughly as I did for Bits and Bytes. And then we don't need to do any kind of assignment or anything. And we'll begin chapter Mouse X and Mouse Y. mouse X and mouse Y. And tomorrow is Tuesday, August 27th. And then at some point, just a note to myself, I still need to finish updating Nightbot for YouTube. I thought I did it properly. Apparently, excuse me, I didn't, because if we type a command in chat, it doesn't actually show up in YouTube, but it should show up in Twitch in a second. Oh no, because I typed it in wrong. There we go. Oh, now it's not working on Twitch either. Nightbot got shy again. After all of that, Nightbot is shy. If I just say Nightbot. Yeah, why aren't you responding to the commands? Did I spell command incorrectly? I don't think so. Rebellious, true. Very true. Yeah, Nightbot is rebelling. So I'm going to add double check that Nightbot is working for Twitch. Glad I figured that out right now, so I can double check that off the stream. Then decide on final time for Sunday streams, and I need to figure out my issue where I can only stream on Instagram for about an hour before it stops streaming. But here on Twitch and YouTube we can stream for longer, and that's why we streamed for almost 2 hours today. So yeah, it's already 7:30, already an hour after when I typically end streams, so thank you all for sticking with me. I hope it was fun. I don't know. Yeah, just hope it was fun. Something you could leave on the background stuff, telling you eating loose on the screen here. So I'm gonna remove that. But yeah, if you haven't already, and this is too for the recording that's on YouTube, consider following on Twitch or subscribing on YouTube. That way you know when I go live. And I will be live Mondays through Thursdays at 5:30 p.m. Eastern time. Thank you for the epic stream. You're welcome. Thank you so much for stopping by. It was nice to see you here. Thank you so much. And thank you for the fun tangents. Same to you, Sarah, as always. Thank you both. Thank you. Thank you. But yeah, again, consider following, subscribing, and I'll be live again tomorrow, 5:30 p.m. Eastern time, for about an hour until 6:30. These streams, weekday streams, will typically be for about an hour. And then whenever we stream on Sundays will be a little bit longer. So yeah, thanks again, and I'll see you all tomorrow. Bye, y'all. Oh, one more thing I forgot to mention. If you're watching on Twitch, consider sticking around for the raid. I'll be raiding someone, so stick around for the raid so you can support both of our channels. And yeah, if you want to, if you feel like sticking around. But thank you all. See ya. Yeah, you're right. I do always forget the raid, huh?